Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we'll discuss about classification of partial differential equations. Partial differential equations are classified as linear equations, semi-linear partial differential equations, quasi-linear and non-linear partial differential equations. First, let's see about linear partial differential equation and non-linear partial differential equation. Let's see its definition. A partial differential equation is said to be linear if its dependent variables and all of its derivatives have degree 1. The equation does not contain the product of dependent variables and derivatives. If these conditions are not satisfied, then the PDE is called non-linear. Linear partial differential equation would be in the form like this, where you know the notation of partial z by partial x, and q is the notation of partial z by partial y. Here let's see some examples. Partial z by partial x plus partial z by partial y equals z minus y. Here you see the partial derivatives of the dependent variable and the dependent variable itself. It has degree 1 and all of its partial derivatives have degree 1. So this equation would be linear partial differential equation. Let's see another example. In this example, the partial derivative of the dependent variable is 1 and its itself degree of partial of dependent variable is also 1. So this equation would be linear. Example 3, you see the degree of partial derivative is 3, and so this equation does not satisfy the definition of linear partial differential equation, so it would be non-linear due to its degree which is not linear. Let's see another example. Here the degree of partial derivative is 1 and also the degree of the dependent variable is 1, but we see the dependent variable and its partial derivative are both in product, so this would not be a linear equation, it would be non-linear partial differential equation. Let's see about semi-linear partial differential equation. A first order partial differential equation is said to be semi-linear if it is linear in p and q and is of the form written in the form px by p plus qx by q equals rx by c. Let's understand this definition with examples. Here pxy would be x square and p partial z by partial x plus qxy would be the function like y, and q is partial z by partial y, and rxy is consider the function xy minus z square. So it would be semi-linear equation. There is no condition for the dependent function to be linear. It is the condition only p and q should be linear, which are of degree 1 in this equation. So these are semi-linear partial differential example of semi-linear partial differential equation. Let's see another example. Here we see the p and q. This one is p and this one is q, has the degree 1, so it is also the example of semi-linear partial differential equation. Let's see about quasi-linear partial differential equation. A first order partial differential equation is said to be quasi-linear if it is linear in p and q and is of the form where its coefficients means coefficients of p and q are the functions of x, y and z. Let's see the examples. Example, it is p and q both are linear, and also we see the coefficient of p is the function of in the form of xz, and also this one the coefficient of q is in the form of xz, and this one is also the function of x, y and z, where in this case z is 0. So this is the example of quasi-linear partial differential equation. Let's see another example. Here p is linear and q is also linear. Also the coefficients of these are in the form of function of x, y and z, and also the r is the function of x, y and z. Students, if you have any question about the classification of partial differential equations, you can ask me. I will inshallah try my level best to answer your questions.